Hello everyone. You must have heard several success stories. We often hear this, like for successful entrepreneurs, top rankers, wealth creators, and any influential personalities. And whenever we listen to them, a pattern emerges. They say things like follow your passion, take risks, believe in yourself, and you will also get success. Now, here is the question. If this advice is so effective, why doesn't it work for most people? Think about it. Why doesn't it work for everyone? See, the problem is not always the advice. The problem is what we are not seeing, or even we can say what we are not shown. We are only seeing the people who succeeded, who got success. We are not seeing the thousands or even lakhs who tried the same things and did not succeed due to several factors. There might be multiple reasons. This this bias is called survivorship bias. In simple terms, survivorship bias is the error of focusing only on successful outcomes while ignoring the failures that also existed. It is a kind of distortion, a filter, and a partial or colored view of reality. It is not complete reality, it is incomplete reality. And because of this, we often draw conclusions that are incomplete and most of the times misleading. We can understand this bias through a classical example. This concept became widely known first time during Second World War. Engineers were trying to aircraft that time. They noticed that the aircraft which are returning had so much bullets hit on wings. So they thought if we reinforce the wings of aircraft, it will become much effective. But there was a trouble. For any kind of flight, aircraft, helicopter, anything, the more you increase weight, the lesser its capability will be, and more fuel it will require. Then, an expert among them pointed out something very counterintuitive. He told, you are seeing only those aeroplanes which returned, which returned, only those fighter planes which came back and they are hit on wings. But that you are missing here that those aeroplanes which were hit at engine or some critical part did not return. So rather than reinforcing wings, you should reinforce critical part of the fighter planes, such as its engine. And this idea worked out. He pointed out this counterintuitive but important thing. So the real weak points were not the visible damage. They were the invisible damage, which they could not see directly. And this changed their entire strategy. Our mind falls for survivorship bias because human mind prefers visible storage over invisible data or those data which are not presented. For example, success is visible, failure is not visible, it is silent. Success is celebrated so everyone knows. Failure is often hidden, no one celebrates. So it doesn't spread. So naturally, our perception of the reality becomes skewed. It is not complete. We may take modern example of startups also. We hear lots of time about unicorn companies, billion-dollar founders, overnight success stories, and we start believing this is possible for anyone. But what we don't see that thousands of startups fail. There are years of struggle, financial losses. So the conclusion becomes over optimistic due to missed data, or you may say incomplete data. Further example, we may also think about competitive exams, which is very common in our country. We see toppers, we watch their interviews. As you know, recently the result of civil services announced. So you would see lots of news about topper and their interviews. They will tell about their strategy and everything. Some will say I studied 8 hours daily. Some other will say I studied only 4 hours daily. Some will tell about their strategy in detail. And lots of aspirants try to replicate that in their life. But we don't see that thousands of equally hardworking candidates who followed more or less similar strategy but did not succeed. So we assume strategy is equal to success, which is not correct. Reality is more complex than this because for success, apart from strategy, hard work, they also require luck. Luck should be in their favor so that they get selected, and multiple factors which are not in their hand, not in their control. If we take example from corporate context, in corporate life, survivorship bias appear in different form. We see fast promotions, high performers, visible leaders, etc. And any fresher thinks that this is the path to success. But they don't see that people who worked equally hard but did not get the same opportunities or faced different constraints. So we create simplified models. Now we see the real danger. What are the dangers due to survivorship bias? See, see the danger of survivorship bias is not just misunderstanding. It is actually misguided. It is actually misguidance. It is like being misguided. It can lead to unrealistic expectations, wrong decisions, and even misplaced confidence. You start believing if I do this, I will succeed, without realizing that many others also did the same and didn't. Here is something important. Survivorship bias does not mean that success in any venture, in any field, in any competition is random. No. It means that success stories that you hear, that are told to you, that are shown to you, are incomplete data. It is never complete. They show only those paths that work for certain people. They do not show those paths that failed, that did not lead to success. So here comes the question: how to think better? So what should we do? Ask the missing question. Whenever you see success, ask what am I not seeing? What things are not known to me, which data is not available to me. Look for base rate. Instead of asking, can this work? Ask, how often does this work? You should also respect probability that success is not just effort. It is also timing, context, opportunity, randomness, and favor of luck. Therefore, instead of blindly copying success stories, you should understand patterns and also understand limitations. Instead of that, I will follow this exact path. You should think, what can I learn and what may not apply to me? Because strategy of everyone for success in any field, any venture, any business are different, and it also depends upon their own circumstances. Sometimes what you don't see is more important than what you see. The absence of data is also information. The silence of failure is also a signal. Winding up, we can say survivorship bias reminds us of something very simple. Reality is bigger than what is visible, and understanding reality requires not just observation but also critical thinking on our part. So, next time when you see a success story, don't just ask how did they succeed. Also ask how many tried and didn't. Because that question alone can change the way you think and the decisions you make. If you start seeing both sides of the story, success and failure, your thinking becomes deeper, your expectations become realistic, and your decisions become stronger. So, thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and you can give your feedback in the comments. And if you want that I make video on any certain topic, you should also comment that. And do like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share this video with your friends. Thank you so much. Meeting again in Let's meet in next video. See you.